leaving Great Basin National Park, we passed some unique road art, something we look forward to whenever it comes up on the back roads of America. Here we saw some play on words art, like this, the bristle cone. Or this, ladies and gentlemen, the very attractive barbed wire. And I guess there's more than one way to spell Great Basin. Very nice. After nearly a week of not driving, we had to make tracks to Salt Lake City for another in a string of television interviews we were doing that tell people our Green Family Summer story. Erica Edberg from ABC Channel 4 did a great story, and we appreciated the chance to get cleaned up after our high country experiences. We stayed at the Pony Express RV Resort close to downtown, and our little rig was dwarfed by the gigantic RV-osauruses around us. That's okay. We were able to drive ours at current gasoline prices and not just park them in one place. This stop gave me a chance to set up and use the wind power. Now we got it from talcoelectronics.com, and I thought you might like to see how the system sets up. First, we drive one tire of the A-Liner E's over the windmill base. Now this gives stability to the system. Then I assemble the telescoping aluminum tower to the base. Next, I assemble the small turbine head to the top of the tower, making sure it's wired in correctly. Then I assemble the blades to the turbine head and tilt the whole thing up into place, securing it with a couple of hex bolts. Finally, I just plug the connecting cord into the A-Liner's electrical system so that when the wind blows, the batteries are charging. I love the sound the blades make when they're spinning, and I like not having to plug into the grid to charge our batteries. This system, including the solar panel, provides plenty of power for the pump, fan, and lights on the E's, plus keeps our laptop, HD video camera, microphones, and even my electric shaver charged. Just outside of Salt Lake City is the High Uinta Wilderness area. Now Sherry and I had hiked through here in the early 90s and wanted to show it to the kids. First, we set up a base camp along a creek and then made forays from there. The girls decided to make their own fishing poles.
Well, this is how we made ours, but we used a stick and some dental floss, and then I had earlier found a sinker and a hook.
As with all fishermen, they quickly became philosophers.
I think the fish have learned that that when things are dropped into the river or something, then they know it might be a hook.
Really? Well, I guess that means pasta again tonight. Oh well. On our last day in the Uintas, we spent the whole day hiking over 10 miles on the Highline Trail. This trail makes its way across the High Uinta Wilderness area, connecting with many other trails along the way. The kids, as usual, were troopers.
This was our longest day hike ever.
And you're going to do what, Sylvie?
I'm going to pour water on my head.
Okay.
How do you feel, though?
Tired. Tired. Of course we do.
Of course you do. Me too. Then it was due north. We had to be in Yellowstone National Park in a few days when we'd be shooting some video for Thompson's water seal to highlight their good work in the park. And we had a couple of stops along the way, including the Grand Tetons. Oh, hey look, more road art. Now, you don't see nearly as much of this when you're on the freeway, just one of the reasons we stick to the back roads. We also got to see a sheep herder and his dogs keeping tabs on the flock, something we might have missed if we'd been tooling along the interstate at 70 miles per hour. We ran across a pioneer memorial in Cokesville, Wyoming, although the buildings on Main Street had definitely seen better days. And it's the two-laner that passes under this arch of elk antler sheds in Afton, Wyoming. These are some of the rewards of Backroads America, what we feel is a more genuine look at the country instead of the shiny, plastic, homogenized version you see at interstate exits. And then we were there, one of the most magnificent picture postcard views in the U.S., Grand Tetons National Park. We celebrated with some kind of interpretive dance. Nope, we're not quitting our day jobs. Our first stop in any national park is always the Visitor Center. Now this is the place to go for trail maps, advice, and a quick education on the natural and human histories of the parks. Kids can also participate in each park's Junior Ranger program. They just pick up a booklet at the desk, complete the activities, go on a hike or a ranger-led program, and they receive a patch or badge from that park. Even the parents learn a lot along the way. This really does help you see these places as more than just a pretty view. We chose a loop hike which would take us up to Taggart Lake and back, about 4.5 miles round trip. As usual, getting off the roads in any of the busier parks will reap rewards. This trail is no different. Nothing you'll see in the Grand Tetons is anything short of breathtaking. We decided to take it easy, stopping to smell the flowers along the way, or pet beetles, or just scratching the dirt. This trail was covered in early summer wildflowers like Indian paintbrush and fields of lupine. On days like this, it's hard to imagine that there's anything wrong in the world. The girls wanted to keep their tradition of swimming in every body of water we came across, no matter how cold. I may have mentioned that I have not signed up for this myself. So how was it?
Really cold. Beyond really cold. Ice cold.
Yep, I'll take your word for it. On our hike back, the sun was sinking a little lower in the sky, and we'd heard that this time of day was when bears might be out and about, and we'd been told to make enough noise that we wouldn't surprise one along the way. Lucky for us, we brought Sylvie along, and her gift of gab kept the wild beasts at bay. Here's a short example.
When we go up, you have to go across the bridge. You slide down the slide.
Really?
And we did that last year. I know, and you'd be able to
No, go on.
do something at once, but I
Alrighty.
like to do, I just did this little
Is that a fact?
thing where you swing, and it would go higher and higher.
Okay.
And it would go,
No, look, we're back. Nice work, Sylvie. Not a single bear. And then, at the end of the hike, we come home. It feels good to be home. Our next stop was Yellowstone National Park, part of our working vacation. I'm the spokesman for Thompson's water seal, and they wanted to shoot some video in Yellowstone and Glacier National Parks as part of their VIP, or Very Important Places program. Since we own a high-definition field production kit complete with camera, mics, lights, you name it, Sherry would be the videographer and I would be the talent, such as I am. The girls would be production assistants for a day or two, but we still had plenty of time for sightseeing. Yellowstone was the first national park, established in 1872. The Act of Congress which established this park did so for the benefit and enjoyment of the people, and that basic tenet is inscribed on the arch leading into the north end of the park. We set about exploring the waterfalls and hot spots that make Yellowstone the wonder that it is. Now, while the crowds could sometimes be overwhelming, so was the scenery. And some things are worth standing shoulder to see, just to have been there once in your life. The wildlife seemed tame, and traffic backed up every time something bigger than a bread basket ambled along the shoulder. Heading out of Yellowstone, we had a little snag. We're stuck here because of traffic. They said about 20 minutes, but it's not too bad a stop with a beautiful view. Besides, I needed a little cleaning up anyway, using our time wisely. In Glacier, we worked for Thompson's water seal again, but also got to meet up with our friends, the Broy family, from back home. We spent a week together in Glacier, seeing the sights, riding the trails, and making summer vacation memories that both of our families will be talking about for years to come. The wildlife here was right out of a National Geographic special, and they weren't afraid to get close. Oh, look, grizzly bears! Okay, they're just marmots, but I had you there for a minute, didn't I? And that brings us to the end of this episode. Our next appointment is at the Nature Conservancy's Ball Creek Ranch Preserve in the Panhandle of Idaho. Keep up with us on our blog at greenfamilysummer.com and come back soon. The Wilson family's epic journey continues on Green Family Summer.